Hi there, Sandra here from Create in Spain. Today I'm going to be doing a very short video on a new app by CraftEdge that make shortcuts a lot, and it is SVG Merge. As it says on the tin, pretty much it merges SVG files. This can be very handy if you have large designs that have multiple components, multiple pages, and you're trying to open them in software that only has one page at a time. We all know that kind of software, don't we? It's very, very easy to use. You can import a file by dragging and dropping. You can also just go to the menu and add file or add folder, whatever it is that you want to do, but I've got them here ready, so you can just drag and drop. So we want to select the ones that we want to export, and I'm going to do all of them. Hold down the Command key and just do that. And I've got my DPI set to 96 for scan and cut. There are other options that you can use. I have got auto arrange clicked on. If you don't use the auto arrange, the other options disappear. I cannot comment on design space compatibility because I don't use design space. We have fit into area, and then you can put the area that you want them to fit into, depending on your preference. And as long as they will actually fit into that area, you don't have a problem. So I go to export selection, and I'm just going to label that 1 and go to save. And then in a moment, it will have saved it. There we are. Export has been completed. Now to show you what it looks like when you import it, I'm going to open up shortcut slot, go to SVG import, and just tap on this one here and open it. And this is the result. Now you'll notice that this one here is in 2 sections. Now this is due to how the file was made, nothing else. You go to your layers over here and you can select whatever part of the design that you want to mess around with. If I select this one here, you can see that's highlighted, and there are 2 different items. There are the cut lines and there are the colors. So one layer can be put on top of another. The other thing that you might want to notice is that in this particular case, we don't have a stroke selected everywhere. So we can put a color stroke on. Just go to black here. And at the moment, the stroke width is 1. We can take that down if we want to. So this here now has a fine stroke. If I ungroup that, go for this one here and move it over there to create the file as I wanted it. But as I said, this is something which is done by the designer of the file. It's got nothing to do with shortcuts a lot. It's got nothing to do with the SVG exporting. That's just how that particular designer has worked it. So I'm going to remove all of those, and I'm going to put in a few other different SVGs of a different type. Okay, and again I'm going to go to fit to area and export all, and let's see what happens here. Replace, yeah, there we go. And it says it can't do it because the output dimensions are too small to remove overlaps, which is pretty obvious because these designs are a lot bigger. These designs are way too big for all of them to go into 12 by 12. So if I go to horizontal and go to export selection, put in 1 and replace that, yeah. The export has been completed, and then if I go to shortcut slot and I do my import of 1 SVG, that's what I expected to be able to see. And obviously it hasn't fitted them into a 12-inch square because it's not possible to fit them into a 12-inch square. But what it has done, it has lined them up horizontally so that I can see them, I can view them, I can hide them, discard them, whatever I want to do, but it's opened it all into the one file. If you do not have the auto arrange, click that off. If you don't have the auto arrange removing the overlaps, you can still do it. So you can export your selection all as one. Now, if I delete all this lot, go to SVG import. Here we go. So it'll put it all on top, which is fine as long as you've got them grouped properly to start with. You can separate them. But if you're doing something like a box and you did not have them grouped to start with, it would be a complete and utter mess, wouldn't it? So if you're going to do this, make sure that your items are grouped if they're big ones, because you will spend a long time separating them out and moving cut lines and score lines around if you're doing boxes and things, if you do not group them first. But bearing that in mind, this works really, really well and is very useful. So there we go. There we have SVG Merge. You can purchase it on the CraftEdge website, as you can indeed with Shortcut Slot and the other software that they do. I will put a link to the website down below. That's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you again soon. Take care now.